new Liberal leader could emerge within days after Angus Taylor resigned from Sussan Ley's front bench, setting up a potential leadership challenge tomorrow. The wait comes because not all of the 51 Liberal politicians are in Canberra, with some needing to fly back in on the taxpayer dime, of course, if a spill is called. For their take, let's bring in Sunshine Coast Mayor Rosanna Natoli and News Corp National Education Editor Susie O'Brien. Good morning to both of you. Rosanna,
morning.
So if there's a spill tomorrow, some of the senators are going to have to fly back in, so all the Liberal pollies can claim about $500. That's for accommodation and, of course, their meal allowance per day. If all the 51 MPs brought just one staffer, that's about 50 grand, so they can vote for the leader. It's adding up on the taxpayer dime.
Yes, well, I think it hasn't been a question of if there would be a leadership spill, but when and by whom. So that's the only thing we're wondering about here. Of course, Australians expect our leaders and our politicians to do the job, and that needs to be in Canberra, and in this case it has to be once they're all in the nation's capital. The thing is that the timing is important from a political point of view. From the people at home who are paying the taxes, the timing really needed to be about being cost effective. So if you're going to have a spill, clean it up quickly and don't send the bill to the taxpayer. That is what we really would have liked to see here. But it doesn't look like that is what we're going to see.
Yeah, Susie, we've seen Labor mocking the Libs in Parliament for quite a while about this. So I guess they could have done it at a cheaper time for the taxpayer?
Yeah, look, I mean, you have to think, why has it taken this long? Does Angus Taylor not have the numbers? Has it taken this long for him to be able to call this spill with confidence? They've been in Canberra all this week. They should have done it before now. You know, it's yet another shambolic move by the Liberals, which are kind of breaking apart day by day. You know, as you said, it's 25 grand for the politicians to stay for an extra night, plus if each of them have 2 or 3 staffers, you know, the bill mounts and we're the ones paying for it.
What do you think, everyone? Moving on, a row over Olympic rowing has emerged in the Brisbane 2032 Games, with Queensland's Deputy Premier saying it will either be held in Rockhampton or not at all. Line in the sand type of stuff, amid fears Rocky's Fitzroy River doesn't meet requirements. But Olympic officials say the state government signed a contract that gives the IOC the final say on venues for sports. Rosanna, can the government break a contract here?
Well, one thing we know, and I've known the Deputy Premier for a very long time, he is very passionate about regional Queensland. That's a strength. Then when it comes to negotiating about where the sports are, this is really about the relationship. It is about the IOC, it is about the government, it is about all of those communities all coming together, and then there finally being a way forward. What we will do and what we know is that everyone wants the same thing, a Games that Queensland and indeed Australia can be proud of here. So what we'll do is we'll do that in the Queensland way, and hopefully no one goes overboard in the process.
Is it about the passion or is it about the contract, Susie?
Well, I think it's about the crocodiles, isn't it? Like, what's the problem with the Fitzroy River? I mean, school kids row on the river, so why can't Olympians? And, you know, like, they're going to have to work out this kind of power game between the IOC and the Queensland government. You know, they've got a few years to do it, but there's a lot of wild fauna in Queensland that is life-threatening, from blue bottles in Brisbane to the stingers up in Cairns.
Let's not scare the international
So, you know what? They've got to get this worked out, because
it's
this is going to come up again and again.
Is it the crocodiles, Rosanna, or isn't it the currents now?
Yeah, it's not the crocodiles. It's not the crocodiles, though that does make a great headline.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Finally, the UK's highest court has ruled that oat milk cannot be called milk. It comes after a long battle between plant-based company Oatly and the dairy industry, with the Supreme Court saying milk can only be used if it comes from an animal. Rosanna, they're going to have to use oat drink now. They can't call it the word milk. What do you think?
So soon we're not going to be able to milk a situation for all it's worth. We're not going to be able to milk a snake for the venom. None of that. The law here has gone way beyond what is ridiculous. So Consumers, I don't think, are that dumb. It's just the law. No one pours oat milk over their cereal and goes, oh, this cow was particularly plant-based today. Everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone knows that it's from a plant when they're using that particular product. So in this case, I think the law has been ridiculous.
Susie, should Australia adopt the same rules? I know the dairy industry doesn't like all the other milks being called milk.
Yeah, I mean, this is just about the big dairy protecting its patch. I mean, let's face it. I mean, we're not meant to say champagne, and yet the girls still have a champers on Friday afternoon, not a, Sparkers instead of sparkling. But you know what? It's just going to make it harder to order a, turmeric latte with oat milk. It's now a turmeric latte with an oat-based derivative squeezed
oat
from
water.
a piece of oat. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I say oat milk all the way. Let's just keep the term.
Yeah, well, see, people who did a marketing degree, get on it, because you need to come up with a different name. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Nat. Stay